Let's do it.
Alright, so, well, as we all know, you've got a new CD coming out.
Yeah.
Larva, Pupa, Coffin. And it's a remix CD, basically. And you've got 4 original tracks, and 3 by yourself, and an additional 4 by others.
Yep.
I was wondering pretty much how you go about remixing your own tracks, or, well, tracks in general. How does that differ from...
Whenever I remix my own stuff, like when I do an Angelspit stuff track, it's a lot more fun because when you remix someone else's work, you want to be really respectful to it, and you want to give them the best that you can give them and be really good to them and be really nice to them and all that shit.
Yeah.
And you want to make something that for them is going to help them as much as they can and get exposure to different dance floors and whatever the fuck else. But with Angelspit stuff, it's really cool because I can just utterly destroy it, and I can do whatever I want to it, and I have absolutely free range to torture my child as much as I want. You know how you can't torture someone else's child? Apparently, but you can torture your own child. So I'm all down with torturing my children, and it's really good because like whenever I throw something at Destroy X, she'll just go harder, faster, darker, fuck yeah. So we're always pushing it harder. So that's the fun thing about remixing your own stuff. Like I just did a remix for a band in the USA called Ego Lightness, and they're really awesome. And they're also really cool because they'll also say, look, push it harder, push it harder, push it harder. So I think Angelspit's getting a reputation for really torturing and demolishing tracks when we remix stuff. And because I'm sort of very tired with EBM and standard, more traditional forms of electronic torture, and I just like going hardcore.
Huh. Yeah, well, actually, I've come across your work obviously before, and it is brutal, I must say, and it doesn't really conform to that whole EBM feel you get from other bands, like, I don't know, don't need to name drop any bands, but still.
It's about cutting sick. That's an Australian term. That's the first Australian term today is cut sick.
I think that really adds to, I don't know, the harshness of everything, because it feels like it's rocking live, and it's not just programmed in a sequencer somewhere, you know?
Yeah. Well, we use a lot of we always use acoustic instruments, and we build stuff. And actually, at the moment, I'm sitting on an exercise ball, which I don't know if you can see that. It's a big exercise ball, and it's the best kick drum. And we're often using it as a drum, and like we bounce it. We've used it in a track where we bounce the ball, and it's just got the most amazing bass thump to it. And then you wind it backwards, and it sounds like a demon breathing in. So we're always using bits of like electronic and acoustic things, like various things that we found on the streets in Sydney and in New York end up in our music.
Cool. So like you mentioned, when you collaborate, well, in a sense, you kind of collaborate when you do remixes with other musicians. You tend to want to respect their work as much as you can, like you said. And how do you feel about letting other people remix your tracks? Is that scary in any way? Like,
yeah, it is scary. Like,
full creative, veto, they get to decide everything and you just go right ahead with it?
We only pull in artists who we trust. Like, I mentioned Ego Likeness before. Like, I will trust Steve Archer from Ego Likeness with my music to the end of the world, because he gets he knows where we're coming from. Like, we are from a punk background as opposed to EBM. Like, industrial music to me is about punk. Another band I trust absolutely is, obviously KMFDM, who we've had the pleasure of working with before, but there's also a band from Tokyo, Japan called Baal, and Baal are they are amazing. They are so amazing. Actually, Kevin Key from Skinny Puppy, his new favorite band is Baal, and they are that they fuck shit up more than we do, and I'm always inspired by what those guys do. They're a three-piece, female vocals, although she sounds like a demon witch. The main guy plays guitars, he's insane, and they've got a drummer, and they just go to town. Whenever I send out a remix, I'll always say, don't give me EBM, because EBM bores the shit out of me. Give me something really, really different. Like, let's try something absolutely off the wall, totally off the cuff. You know, and like, for example, at the moment, we're sending out, we're kind of touching base with some other bands like 16 Volt from the USA, the Dope Stars in Italy, and they're also remixing some of our stuff. And I've said, go back to 1992, to the first time you heard Skinny Puppy Too Dark Park or Broken by 9 Inch Nails, 1992. And you were just watching Seven for the first time, and you've just heard about The Prodigy, and you've bought your first crappy sampler, and life is so awesome, and all you can see are possibilities. Go back to that moment of absolute, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't care what I'm doing, but this is punk rock on a synthesizer, yeah, let's go. And because like increasingly there's so much pressure to do stuff that appeases like DJs and stuff, and yeah, don't get me started on DJs. And I believe that people want to hear something different, and so you know, I believe that the new wave of industrial music that I see bursting all over the world is punk, and it's about people not caring about the rules and about the whatever. It's about punk rock with synthesizers.
Pure attitude, more or less.
Fuck yeah, pure attitude.